terrorists in Kashmir. You say, you
No,
name
that's
the
what
force, you
that's
name the
what they're
force,
saying.
it's a democracy, you name
I'm
the
going to
force,
yeah, no.
but don't say
See,
occupational
Karthik
forces,
here,
they are Indian forces,
I
Misao.
am from the ground. I am from the ground, and I think you won't feel the pain as much as I feel the pain. Now, if the state forces has to be deployed in Moreh, what I'm saying is we are not against to that. But state forces, there are lots of tribal police forces. Why can't those tribal police forces are deployed in Moreh rather than those Meitei personnel deployed in Moreh? Now I'll tell you very straightly, in Suranpur, there's relatively peace and calm because these Meitei police commandos are not deployed in Suranpur. In Kangpokpi, it's very peaceful because the Meitei police commandos are not deployed in Kangpokpi. Now, what we keep saying is, even if you deploy, I'm not saying that the state forces are not there in Kangpokpi and Suranpur. State forces are there. The state forces SP, we have how the highest number of SP, the highest number of high-ranking top police officers are from the Kuki. Why are not those police forces are posted in Moreh and same as it's done in Kangpokpi and Susanpur? That's what I'm saying is, when you are doing this, what is happening in Moreh will come to an end. I'm not saying the state forces should not be deployed, but even if state forces are deployed, let the state forces, the personnel who belongs to the tribal community and the police officer who belongs to the tribal community be posted in Moreh. Then all these incidents of
Okay.
violence which is taking place now will get over. That's
Okay.
my point.
Okay, that's your point. Mr. Chakma, I want to know, you are an authority on conflicts. How do you redistribute forces? Like, for example, there is a system of Indian Army, the regiments. You can move one regiment, which is from one part of the country, which has nothing to do with the other part, to take care of law and order situation. So you can have the Naga regiment in Kashmir, so you can have, Jat regiment in West Bengal, you can do all that, for the larger security purposes. What sort of redistribution is required in Manipur that this whole issue of your police versus my people versus your people can be resolved? Because you were talking about rejigging the unified command.
See, I think it's a question of the state being sensitive to the security requirements. And I would say because Manipur is going through a phase of conflict, uh, if deploying Manipur police belonging to a particular community in particular areas or in their areas helps to bring down the violence, why should the state have any objection? At the end of the day, whether it is the Métis or the Cookies, state force is a state force. I think what is required is a flexibility so that you take the sensitivities into account and gradually build up the trust. And I think what I have been worried about is I thought the Manipur was coming back to certain amount of normalcy before these killings. Then you have the state government of Manipur suggesting or recommending a memorandum to the Union of India saying that the scheduled tribe status of the cookies should be reviewed. Is this the time to do it? When we know fully well that the entire violence started on 3rd of May because of the state ST status. Now, in my view, that is a provoking statement or provoking step. The government of the state receives so many memorandums, and there are memorandums which are kept in the back burner for decades, for ages. Even if you look at the petition which had gone to the High Court, you would see the petition was moved in 2013. So for the last 10 years, because it was found to be sensitive, it was just lying dust and nobody took any step, it's fine. So if you receive a memorandum from a particular Métis community saying that the cookies should not be, or cookies status should be reviewed, then you just keep it on the hold. You do not forward it immediately to the Union of India and make a public statement. Because we still have not reached the situation where who is a ST, what kind of autonomy and all those things are to be decided. we are just, when I mentioned that we need about a year time for president's rule, just to make sure that people have a normal life for about 6 months,
Okay,
7 months. They
okay,
forget
let me
about
put
it.
it this way. Let me put it this way. I'll come to you, Misa, also. Brijesh, is president rule the answer?
Well, I think president rule could have been imposed earlier because to control the situation getting out of hand. See, I mean, just because we don't want to doesn't mean that we have to deny the obvious, which is staring at our face. The Meiti community didn't like certain units of Assam Rifles. Kuki community didn't like Manipur police, and the situation has been volatile for the last 8 to 9 months, with both ethnicity armed to teeth with legal, illegal, all kind of and homemade weapons, just to make sure that unfortunately, if the D-Day comes, they are in a position to defend themselves. The point is that the government has not been able to give an indication or impress upon the people that they are going to treat everyone equally,
Okay.
and there will be a crackdown on either ethnicity if they are seen in violation of the law and order situation in the state. Unfortunately, that has not been happened.
Misao?
And that is the reason the deep mistrust.
Misao, is the president rule the answer?
That has been the demands since the start of this violence from the Kuki community. And now, particularly making use of this platform, I would appeal to the population of Manipur. It is very unfortunate, as Oza Moirang team was rightly pointing out, one of the super rising power of the war, India, is letting Manipur bleed till today for 8 months, more than 8 months. Now, I would appeal to both the Kukis and the Meitei community. This violence will bring no good to both the community. So it is high time we come back to our sense, sort out our differences,
Beautiful.
and
Very nice.
lead a life since our forefather, which we had led already. If you look at the history, there is no instance of Meitei and Kuki at war. Rather, the Kuki chiefs, when the Maharaja of Manipur are in need, the Kuki chief came down from the hills and extend whatever supports and help is needed by the Maharaja. In the same way, the Maharaja of Manipur also extend his solidarity and whatever support and help possible to the Kuki chief. Now, because of some vested interests who are hell-bent to disturb all this peaceful environment of Manipur, which we have been living together peacefully, we have been sharing our pain, our happiness, and we call each other Mangai. The hill people call Meitei Mangai, Meitei call the hill people Mangai. That's such a lovely kind of bonding between both the communities. And now today, we must not let all these um, elements and forces that are hell-bent to break all this peaceful uh, coexistence of both the community uh, to continue uh, to let us suffer our life. So let's come back. And now it is time, even if the state government is not in a position to bring back peace, we must decide our futures. Either we go together or we sing together. Either we sell together or sing together. That's our choice. If the central government is not helping us, we must help each other and live a life with dignity, free from all this violence, and lead a life that is a freedom, life free from all this violence.
Oh, that's very beautifully put, Pisau, that both the communities need to, I know very few people say this, they get excited in the debate and they never say this when, when the debate ends, that people need to live together. We live in a secular, plural, panth nirpeksh India, and the bottom line is the India belongs to everyone. It doesn't belong to one community, it belongs to each and every community equally. So